This guide has been inspected and approved by Luminous.
Hey guys, this is SunsFan and welcome to the official Dota Cinema Guide to Omniknight. If you aren't familiar with this hero, you may want to watch the introduction we did for him at the corresponding link. Omniknight is a strength hero who is most commonly played as support. His defensive capabilities make him an extremely hard hero to go against. Skill build. Typically you don't want to skill Omniknight right away until you've seen what lane you're going to be going up against. But on a general basis it would be smart to get Repel at level 1 in case of a first blood attempt. After this you'll max out Purification, as the pure damage coming from this is extremely difficult to deal with if used in an offensive manner, while obviously defensively will help quite a bit throughout the game. Your second focus should be Repel. I mean, how can you turn down a free BKB? After this, leveling Guardian Angel at 6, 11, and 16 is also standard. Degen Aura is most commonly picked up at 10 and then maxed out last. But if your lane against heroes with no stuns, then taking an early level of Degen Aura at 4 could definitely be looked at. This is especially effective if your lane mate has a stun or slow, as it would allow for strong lane control. Item build. For starting, get your basic regeneration and Iron Branches. If no one else on your team is willing to get wards or courier, then pony up some gold for one of those two. But preferably you'd like to get a little farm, so we'll say take your Sage's Mask here. For boots, you have a choice between Arcane and Phase boots. Arcane should be your main choice since you're so reliant on your spells, and of course being a strength hero means your mana pool isn't the greatest. But at the same time, positioning yourself in order to have effective use of your spells can be really important as well. In this case, get Phase boots instead. This will also allow you to be more aggressive when taking Degen Aura into account. But for early game, turn that Sage's Mask you got earlier into a Soul Ring. This will solve your mana issues early, but should not be looked at as a long-term solution. Once you have a little farm, feel free to help out with wards from time to time. But Omniknight is not played well as the sole support, so keep that in mind. For mid-game items, go for a mech or pipe. Typically, it's not a good idea to have both items on the same hero, because if that hero is taken out quickly, your team may not get the benefits of either item. Other notable items that could be good depending on how your game's going would include Drums, which gives great overall stats, as well as a helpful aura, a Yules, which provides a good disable as well as move speed, and a Necro Book, which, let's be honest, just sounds awesome. For late game luxury, a Shiva's will be great for mana capacity as well as give you some tankability. A Scythe of Vice, on the other hand, will also solve all long-term mana issues, as well as provide a great late-game crowd control. Gameplay. In the laning stages, you should not underestimate your heal. It deals 360 pure damage, meaning it will completely ignore magic armor. Unfortunately, just keep in mind that you cannot use this on top of Repel, so do not make that mistake. But really, the main thing we need to talk about is Repel. Playing Omniknight effectively requires that you have a good understanding of how Repel works as a mechanic. You need to be able to know which enemy spells will go through Repel, while your team in general should know that supportive single target spells or items will not work on repelled units. Also, please keep in mind that it will take off certain buffs as well. For example, if you use your ultimate and then repel a unit, that unit will lose all effects from Guardian Angel. But if you use Repel and then ulti, it works perfectly fine. Also, if you use Repel after somebody's taken a rune, such as a haste or invisibility, they will lose that buff completely. And of course, the final thing to keep in mind is that Repel is able to be taken off with any purge ability. Degen Aura is really underrated. If you've gotten enough levels to max it, you can chase heroes like none other. Also remember that it lowers attack speed as well, but unfortunately the AoE is very small, which a lot of times puts Omniknight in precarious situations. But as you've seen with all his spells, positioning with Omniknight is of the utmost importance. This point doesn't change for his ultimate, but when playing Omniknight, your goal is to position yourself close enough to allies to keep them safe, but just far enough away from enemies so you don't get targeted yourself. Your ultimate is amazing in teamfights. Whomever you've repelled before you've ulted will basically be invulnerable. And although this may not matter in certain situations, just remember that with this ultimate, you'll not only be basically physically immune, but you'll also gain plus 25 HP regeneration for the duration of the ultimate itself. But in general, your job is to hang back and support your team. A timely repel, Purification or Guardian Angel can mean the difference between a win and a loss. Using these spells effectively may seem easy on paper, but creating priorities within a split-second amount of time is where the real challenge lies. Friends and foes. Friends of Omniknight are those that either love a free BKB or can really take advantage of your purification thanks to their mobility. Pudge is a great example of somebody who loves Repel because he won't take any damage from his rot whatsoever. Queen of Pain and Ricky are good examples from both categories, but most notably for being able to position themselves for a crippling offensive purification. And although pretty much any hero would benefit from having an Omniknight on their team, channelers such as Witch Doctor and Sand King truly love our bearded friend. Heroes that Omniknight has trouble with would be those that can counter his Repel in some fashion. Beastmaster's Roar, Vengeful Spirit's Swap, and Doombringer's Doom are good examples of abilities that go right through Repel. Also, Diffusal buyers such as Ricky and Mirana counter Omniknight pretty hard as well. P.S. guys, whatever you do, don't disappoint Chuck Norris. Thanks for watching, guys, and please remember to subscribe to our YouTube. Also, a big thanks to Flawless and Luminous who helped create this guide. You can check them out at their YouTube channels, which are linked in the video description. Also, be sure to check out our website at dotacinema.com. My name is Sunsfan, and we love you guys.